Okay, so here's another disturbing story about Katt Williams. Once again, people are accusing him of things that I'm willing to bet good money he did not do. He allegedly punched some quote unquote rappers over there in LA who made fun of his height. And he got into it with a pool supply store clerk for calling him the N-word, where he allegedly gave that person a flying uppercut. And this story from the AJC.com is titled Attorney, Comedian Katt Williams Pointing Gun at 5 Women in Atlanta. The story reads, and I quote, "New allegations surfaced Wednesday against embattled comedian Katt Williams, who was arrested Monday on a battery charge in Georgia after a Gainesville store employee told police Williams punched him during an argument. At a Wednesday afternoon press conference in front of Atlanta Police Headquarters, attorney Lilotha Hale accused Williams. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. So excuse me if I if I said her name wrong, but I think it's pronounced Lolitha Hale. At a Wednesday afternoon press conference in front of Atlanta Police Headquarters, attorney Lolitha Hale accused Williams and about 15 members of his entourage and security team of physically attacking and stealing cell phones from 5 women visiting Atlanta for the weekend. She also took aim at Atlanta police, claiming they have failed to adequately investigate the incident. Quote, "The police should have conducted a thorough investigation," Hale said. As for the 5 women stood behind her, quote, "They should have retrieved these ladies' cell phones at the very least." The incident is the second alleged attack involving Williams this week in Georgia. About 11:30 a.m. Monday, he allegedly punched Paul Love, a 54-year-old salesman at Leslie's Pool Supplies, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution previously reported. Williams was booked in the Hall County Jail this afternoon. He was released on $5,700 bond. The new alleged incident began about 2:30 a.m. Sunday when Selena Boston and a group of friends spotted Williams walking near West Peachtree and 3rd Street, according to an Atlanta police report. Boston said they approached the comedian, whose real name is Micah Williams, and he agreed to take a photo with them. When one of the women with Boston began filming Williams, he got angry and started fighting them, according to the report. Boston told police Williams punched her, pointed a gun at the group, and took the women's cell phones at one point. Let me pause the story right there before I read to you the rest, before I wrap up the story. There's not that much left. So he said, yeah, I'll take a photo with you. But once they began filming the selfies being taken, all of a sudden he just flips out and starts attacking people and waving guns. Does this story sound a little bit over the top to you guys, for the record? Anyway, the story goes on to say, and I quote, according to the police report, Williams refuses Boston's account of what happened. I would think he would challenge that crazy story. Anyway, he said the group of women started harassing, filming, and taking pictures of him without his consent. Pause the story right there. I've had women take my pictures without my consent as well. It's very annoying when women just start pulling out their cameras, and I'm not even a celebrity, and it's not that they knew me as Meat Magazine. I'm talking about the real me. Shit is really annoying, and it's offensive when people do that, because people have done that in general to me for whatever reason. But anyways, the story goes on to say, then they became irate and snatched a chain from his neck, which led Williams to start a fight with the group, according to the report. In other words, he's saying that they tried to rob his ass. Anyways, his security team saw what was happening and allegedly approached the women. At one point in the incident, one of the women said, quote, she was going to get her car to get something to pop somebody, Williams told police. Now that, for the record, that would explain why he would ever pull out a gun on alleged fans. A member of Williams' entourage then took a firearm out and sat it down on a concrete post, according to the report. Police later arrived and handcuffed Williams, but made no arrest. Quote, upon responding to the scene, the officers were not able to determine what occurred due to conflicting testimony by all parties and the lack of an independent witness, end quote. Atlanta Police Sergeant Warren Pickard said, quote, based on the information they had in real time and the totality of the circumstances, the officers used their discretion to not arrest anyone on the scene. Pickard said the incident is still under investigation. Quote, I always caution victims not to get frustrated in instances where an immediate arrest is not made, he said. Quote, we will answer further questions related to the investigation at the appropriate time. So that was from the AJC website. Here is TMZ's version of the story. TMZ titled the story, Katt Williams, 5 women claim he held them at gunpoint. TMZ said this, and for the record, TMZ has a video clip on their website, so if you want to see that video, click the link below, visit my blog, and the link to the TMZ website is posted there, so you'll be able to see it there. It's only about, a minute and 2 seconds long, so it's not a long video. It's like a press conference or whatever, where I guess it's the attorney and the alleged victim speaking and whatnot. So you may want to, if you really care about this story, you may want to see that short video. Anyways, TMZ writes, and I quote, Katt Williams is on a Bonnie and Clyde style crime spree if you believe the 5 women who have now come forward claiming he and his crew held him at gunpoint. The women say they ran into Katt and his 15-person entourage Sunday morning at 2:30 in downtown Atlanta. They say they noticed the comedian and asked for a photo. But when Williams noticed one of them was recording video, he allegedly lost it. The women say he punched one of them, which started an all-out brawl, until Williams took out a gun and pointed it at them. They claim he and his entourage took all their phones. One woman says she managed to grab a phone from her car and dial 911. When cops arrived, Katt told police a different story. He claims the women were harassing him, and one of them tried to snatch a chain from his neck, and that's when he punched in self-defense. He does admit taking out a gun, but only because he heard one of the women mention a gun. In the end, police made no arrests because there were no independent witnesses and no injuries, and they are continuing to investigate. As we've reported, Katt was arrested the next day in an Atlanta suburb for allegedly punching an employee in a pool supply store. The 5 women have lawyered up. I'm not trying to say this is shakedown. I'm not trying to say they're just trying to sue him to get paid. I'm not trying to say there's any conspiracy going on here, but I am saying that it does sound extremely fishy. You know, Katt Williams is just getting into all sorts of trouble back to back to back. He's a great comedian who just questioned why Kevin Hart is being put on display as this freaking comedic genius or something like that when he's not. And then all of a sudden Katt Williams' world falls apart. But remember, people, it's all just one big coincidence that all of this happened, at around the same time. Of course, all just one big coincidence. Sure, yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at meatmagazinecat. Keep your head up. We know that you're innocent. Free Katt. #FreeKatt. And that's KATT.